Hey, what's up, everybody? Prince Simba, back again, back to YouTube, coming with the ranked guide for Season 8, Split 1, which we all know is on the wonderfully annoying KC Kings Canyon. I know a lot of us are very divided on this map, I know a lot of us hate it, and maybe some of us love it, but we can't stop the grind, can we? So, I'm going to be coming at you with my most successful team comps and playstyles, while also highlighting the best weapons for this map, and I will give you the real take about ranked right now. So if you guys are interested in a solo queuing guide, I might make one of those, so motivate me in the comment section. But with that being said, if you enjoy this video, like and hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to ask me a question live or watch me grind the Masters live, I'm going to be streaming consistently on twitch.tv/PrinceSimba93, so come through on that. But with that being said, let's hop into the guide. So first off, let's talk about team comps. We're going to talk about the most common team comps, the best legends to use, and the comp that was most successful for me. So first off, we know that on KC, you got to use the Gas Daddy. Caustic has to be on your team, basically because there's no counter to him, and everyone's running one, so the only way to counter a Caustic is with a Caustic. So get ready for a lot of stinky gas and a lot of annoying teams that just sit in buildings. But again, sadly, that's the way it's being played right now in the higher levels. Everyone has a Caustic, so you kind of are forced into that unless your team just loves to just run around and slay. Then more power to you, don't run a Caustic. But Caustic's very highly used, and I would recommend a Caustic. Going from there, number 2 on this list is going to be Horizon. She's really number 1 on everyone's list right now. She's number 1 in the pick rate, and she's basically on every team. She's basically overtaken the Wraith role on a lot of squads, basically because her Q gets you just so high up on a lot of walls, gets you to really good spots, late game, early game, wherever you need to. It's just so quick, much better than the jump pad because the cooldown is so low. So she's just super useful on any team you can have. And her black hole, we all know if you place it perfectly, it can just destroy any good team's placement, especially if you combine it with a Caustic or even Fuse or any of these other ults that just do destruction, Gibby, Bang, all of them. So she's always really good to have on a team. And some other solid characters is Bloodhound because of the scans, and we all know Wraith is always still good. She's just not as good as Horizon anymore. And Gibby's always great because some of these open parts and really late game, having the dome is very useful for healing and resetting. So now we're going to talk about a little weird and or hated controversial team comp that we've all, I think, seen if we've followed the rank scene or been playing a lot. And this comp is the Revenant Octane Crypto, or even just Rev Octane, I mean. Why is this annoying? Let's just put it out there in case you haven't stumbled upon it. Well, everyone's now Rev ulting. They use that huge jump pad that's been reworked, and they just full send ape you. And if they have a really good crypto, they're gonna, crypto ulti you, Rev ulti, full send with Octane jump pad, and then you send them back, and they just Octane jump pad. And the thing with the Octane jump pad is that a lot of times, you won't even hear them when they're in the death totem. They won't have footsteps. They could just sneak up on you, and with the jump pad, they just get up in your face. Versus the old season with the Wraith portal, where the Wraith portal is. With the Octane, sometimes they can just come any direction because they can come straight at you. They can come all the way over you. So it really just makes it for a very hectic thing. And this map being so small and so prone to third parties, this comp is just a little brain dead. But hey, if you want to run it and that's how you get RP, no one's going to hate you because, you're getting to where you want to be. But that is, I guess, the controversial team of this season. But for me personally, the team comp I found more successful with was that of Bloodhound, Horizon, and Caustic. This comp was ideal because of the way we kind of wanted to run ranked, and because of just the reality of ranked season this time. And it was successful for us. We won multiple games in the same night. But before I want to start, talking about why this was successful, I want to talk about, I guess, the most common playstyle this season. And you'll see, I guess, why this comp, for me at least, was very successful in climbing and having, I guess, more fun and just not getting so frustrated with stuff. So with that being said, the next point are the playstyles. So before I explain, like I was going to say, why the Bloodhound Horizon Caustic comp works so well, I want to say that I'm sure we have all seen or read a comment or tweet from our favorite, Apex content creator or one of the pros talking about the insane third parties and terrible experience they're having with ranked. And sadly, I'm here to kind of confirm that. The third parties are insane, especially with that funky Rev Octane comp I was talking about earlier. It kind of sucks because last season with Olympus and World's Edge, I was really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. There was a lot of games where, I didn't really have to rat. I was kind of content to just fight it out and, try and get my kills and really not spend a lot of time ratting because, that's not fun for anybody. But on this map, you just kind of can't. But with, Olympus and World's Edge, it was a great balance of, being able to take a fight early to mid game and then play late for zone without always, having to be on like the edge, not the edge of the ring, being like on edge on that like anxiety of, I think we can push this, but if we push this, are we going to get instantly third party? And you're kind of like head on a swivel all the time, which is it's just not fun. So I really think that like this scene of like the third parties and like hecticness and just like not being fun is kind of at its like highest level right now, honestly, and that's sad to say. So for common and successful playstyles, it's gonna seem very boring, but honestly, my recommendation is just from beginning of the game to the end of it, just play the end zone. Like play like if you're playing Pro Apex from seasons 1 through 3. Land on beacon, hit zone, get the zone, and just try and rotate. The threat of getting third partied after maybe the initial landing and maybe an early fight, like super early, is incredibly high. And there are just so many bottlenecks where 5 or more teams run into each other that it makes just these ridiculous fights of everyone just converging, and it's just a mess. The second a bullet goes off in any in any direction, it just feels like everyone just swarms. So with this, I will explain, why that successful comp worked. And it was basically with Bloodhound. We always drop next to a beacon or as close as we can to get to one safely, and we just immediately start rotating to where we think center zone is, and then we just caustic trap everything or take ultimate height with Horizon, and we just kind of play off of that second zone if we don't get another beacon the rest of the game. If while we're rotating or while we're on height we see that we can third something safely or maybe get a pick on one guy, we go but very cautiously because we don't want to lose our spot, as well as we just we don't want to get into those crazy third parties. So usually in a few of the games we just hunkered down and played for end zone, and it started working because we'd get a game or two where we would get top 2 and didn't really get any kills, and we'd lose or we'd gain a few points, but eventually the kills would start coming to us, and late game we would be able to get the 3 or 4 kills and win the game. And at the end of the day, as pouring as it may be early game, we were winning games and we were getting points, and we did have a few games where we like third partied a little bit and got 1 or 2 KP before we just hunkered down. So that, worked out. But again, it's not ideal, but it's kind of what this map forces you into. And it's just kind of how you have to play in the more skillful lobbies where everyone's looking to third party you. So many teams are running Revenants that everyone's just sitting in a corner waiting for you to fight so that they can third party you, and then someone can third party them. And then there's the 10th party, 8th party, 20th party. Everyone's in the same party. So that's just kind of how it sees, and it sucks that you have to play that way, but it's just the way I found to be successful. And we all want to climb, we all want to get our points, and we want to have fun. We don't want to get frustrated, and third parties sadly are extremely frustrating. But with that being said, those are kind of my comments on the play styles. But I think now we need to pivot to something else, change the subject a little bit, and let's go to kind of the weapons, the gun meta. So the gun meta in this. in KC, we all know that close quarters fighting is what we've come to know about this map. So obviously the Mastiff is super top on this list. If you're not good with it, get good with it, because it is so common and it is so powerful, and you kind of have to run it. Other guns that are really good to run, or that I've found useful, 301, R99, Volt, Spitfire with its recent buff, are all very viable closer to mid-range guns. Longer range, the triple take and the 30-30 are great. 30-30 actually came in very strong. I don't find it to be very OP. I find it to be very well balanced. So if you like those types of guns, run it. And if you want to just piss off all your friends, everyone in the lobby, use the charge rifle. I'm not going to hate against the charge rifle. It's very good for getting your shields up if someone's very good with it. And obviously only carry one. Do not have multiple players on your team with it. Why? Because later on you're going to need to fight probably close range. So if you both have it or three of you have it, you're all going to need to drop guns to pick up a EVA 8, a Mastiff, an R9 or something. So do not have multiple of them, but have at least one. It's very good if you guys get a good high spot early and just farm shields and switch the shields around to get everyone up. It's a very good gun to use, so I'm not going to hate on the charge rifle. So yeah, really try and run closer range guns, and maybe only have one of your teammates with a longer range gun, only for farming up Evo shields. But for the most part, try and run those mid-range to close range guns. And to wrap up, I'm kind of gonna give my, hot take for so far ranked of what I've experienced in, the 3 weeks that it's been out, maybe, for this split. So what I'm gonna say is, honestly, I think Kings Canyon needs more work done to it. They tried to give it those Olympus vibes with what they did in the Northwest, and I think it's okay. I think that part of the map is honestly kind of great, and it gives those dimensions of like ultimate height versus low versus open. I think it's great. I think they did a great job with it, but it makes the rest of the map just kind of feel very detached. It makes it feel like two completely different maps. If you land in the Northwest and you end up kind of in swamps, labs, any of these central areas, you're just like, it just seems so antiquated and like we've just outgrown it, that the Northwest part just seems like such a better, I guess, like built map, that the rest of Kings Canyon, you're just like, why don't they just like revamp all of it? I get it takes a lot of time, but then, don't give us KC again. But that's kind of what the map vibes give off. And the third party situation is just unbearable. It's, it's sad because, it kind of forces you to just play scared and slow and for a final zone, and, it's not fun. It's not fun at all to have, 10 minutes of sitting in a building, but it's sadly the best way to gain RP this split. But, that's just how high the threat of dying quickly is. I've seen a lot of, even pros and other players that love to farm, gain RP, and, they'll get a few kills, but they just get third partied, and, even they don't like it. And no one's immune to the third party. So until, more changes come to KC and it gets completely, I think, revamped in the style of the Northwest corner, it's going to be the reality that this is the map that we have, and this is ranked for Season 8 Split 1. So, kind of with that, I'd like to conclude the guide for now. I'm curious to hear what some of you guys have to say. Is this most of, your guys' experience with ranked? Because for me, at least, it's kind of the consensus, and it's what I've been seeing. So if you want to leave your opinion, I'd love to read it. So leave it down in the comment section. And for now, like I always say, like and subscribe to these videos. And if you want more of me live, go check me out at twitch.tv/PrinceSimba. And until next time, guys, I hope you enjoy the video.